nation has its best
Fact.
possible outcomes by advocating for righteous things.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
let me say something real quick, and then I'm gonna go to Ryan, and then move us on. So, to what Russ is saying, this is one of my favorite C.S. Lewis essays. C.S. Lewis says that what Satan does in every era is he convinces Christians to be focused on, quote, the fashionable problems of the day, and then he says what that does is it gets them solving for the opposite problem that they're actually facing. He uses the analogy of Satan's going to convince you to look over here, so that you end up, and this is his analogy, Christians end up bringing a fire extinguisher to a flood. So his analogy, let's apply it to this thing, is that Christians get really focused on, let's make sure we don't love our nation too much, love our nation too much, love our nation too much. When right now, evangelical Christians are some of the least politically and culturally active people in the United States. Every election,
It's horrible.
40 to 50 million evangelical Christians sit out the elections. That is atheist, Buddhist, is Muslim, literally every other religious group in America is more active politically and culturally than evangelical Christians. But then evangelical Christians are the ones that are like, hey, let's make sure we don't have an idol out of our nation. And what we're doing is the enemy is tricking us into bringing a fire extinguisher to a flood, and we're solving the exact opposite net problem we're actually facing. Ryan.
Very simple concept that everyone needs to understand. Augustine was not an American Christian. He was an early church father. And rightly ordered loves means you need to love the right things in the right order. So for all Christians, it would be God first, then if you're married, your spouse, then your own kids, then maybe your church, your nation, other people in your community. You get down to like your favorite football team, so that's the order. Nobody says that by wearing your favorite football team's jersey that you're committing idolatry and undermining your love for the Lord, who's in number one position, right? Additionally, no one has to downplay their love for, let's say their kids in order to prove their love for the Lord being number one. And that's what a lot of Christians do in these conversations. Like this, they think like, I got to downplay America, bash on America. I've got to talk like, America's not a big deal. I've got to point out everything it's ever done wrong in order to somehow virtue signal that I put God in number one position. I'm not an idolater. And that's you're not functioning with the proper framework. It's rightly ordered loves. Love the right things in the right order.
To Ryan's point, what we're saying is Christian nationalism. We're saying here's what this is. It is Christians wanting and advocating for our nation to be guided by Christian principles. And in our nation, we want hey, religious freedom, that's wonderful. That's actually a Christian idea. But we want the true one promoted. Protect religious liberty, wonderful. But we want the true one promoted. Does that feel good?
Yeah, I mean, our nation was founded as a Christian nation that Judaism and Catholicism was allowed to build nests in the branches of. But the trunk and the root of our nation is distinctly Christian, and that's
Protestant.
objectively verifiable. Yeah, Protestant.
Protestant Christian, very clear. I'll toss this up.